Story 1. If you get a kitten, be ready for the energy and playfulness, including their nails. Make sure to do all the necessary things such as vaccinations, deworming, and flea treatment. Be prepared for them to want to climb on everything. Every cat has its own personality, which might not match your expectations. Other than that, enjoy. Story 2. Keep the litter box clean. Cats do not like it dirty. Cats like cleanliness. Have some cardboard boxes around the house and a scratching pole. Some plants are harmful to cats, while others are safe and they can eat them. If you have plants, research them to see which ones are safe for cats. Remove any plants that are toxic. Not all cats like to be alone. Some will follow you around the house. They like high places to sleep. Story 3. It is a commitment of 12 to 20 years. Make sure you are 1. Not allergic. 2. Financially able to provide food and medical care. I recommend getting pet insurance. It has saved my cats' lives several times. 3. Allowed to have pets where you live. Some important things to know are mostly about cat safety. Plants can be a big risk, especially lilies, but many common houseplants are toxic. Also, drugs like ibuprofen and acetaminophen are highly toxic. Cats love to get into and eat things, so it is important to make your home a safe place for them first. I grew up with a cat, and I have 2 now that are 15 years old and I have had since they were kittens. They are so dear to me as much as any family member, and I would not trade them for the world. Story 4. 1. The rougher you play with cats, the more scratchy they will be for the rest of their life. If you don't want scratchy cats when they are young and you are playing with them, if they start scratching, don't pull back. Just close your fist and keep still. They get the message that the game is over. 2. It is much easier to train a cat in behaviors like the above than it is to untrain behaviors that are already there. 3. Always try to keep some cat food in reserve for the day the store runs out of the normal cat food. Millions of cat owners have run out of normal cat food, gone to the store where there is only the expensive food, thought, well, I'm not going to another store. I'll just buy it this once. These people are now almost exclusively homeless, driven to a life of poverty by their cat's refusal to eat anything but the good stuff. 4. Depending on where you are, there may be cat rescue shelters. Do not go to the pet store. Many countries already have a surplus of feral cats. For many shelters, the feral cats they rescue are pregnant, so even if you want a kitten, go there. 5. Relatedly, get your cat neutered when the time comes. The shelter, if it is reputable, should make this abundantly clear. 6. Most domestic cats come in 3 types: short-haired, medium-haired, and long-haired. The longer the hair, the fluffier and cuter the cat. However, that is until they have diarrhea down their hind legs, and you have to spend the next 2 hours chasing the cat around the house trying to remove it while it smears it on every surface. Tell your friends to get the medium or long-haired cat. You should get the short-haired. Story 5. They are good at hiding symptoms. Make sure to get them checked regularly. If the cat starts showing symptoms of a disease, it is probably already too late to treat. Story 6. It can be a 15 to 20-year commitment. They are also the best companion ever. Story 7. Be patient. In teaching your cat where its litter box is, sometimes it will go on the floor or in the kitchen. Don't be mad at it. The process is slow, but once it is learned, you won't have to worry about it anymore. Be patient if it doesn't want to be disturbed. All cats are similar but different, and some will demonstrate love in different ways. Set boundaries. Put a lid on your trash can because cats will go there for a quick snack and may make a mess in your kitchen. Be clear about what is a no-no for you and vice versa. Your cat will be clear about what it doesn't want. For example, some don't like belly rubs, while others love them. Be prepared to be followed to the bathroom, bedroom, and other places. In my case, I've let him sleep with me since he was a kitten, but I don't let him get on the table when I'm eating, nor on the computer desk. Don't make abrupt changes. It is recommended that all changes be subtle and done in small steps. If you need to move its bowl or the litter box, do it slowly. Cats don't react well to sudden changes. Moving to another house or city can be really traumatic, leaving them stressed out for months. Learn to understand your cat. Cats communicate very well if you pay attention. For example, if you try to give it a kiss and receive its paw in your mouth, it's the universal language for, I don't want it. If you wake up with its butt on your face, it's making clear who is the alpha in the house. Sometimes you'll hear constant meowing. It's the best way to get your attention. You should follow your cat because it's trying to tell you something. Sometimes it wants more food. Sometimes it wants to go outside, and there's a door. The relationship will improve if it feels heard. Give it space. Not every day is cuddle day. Sometimes it will be sleeping all day, and that is fine. It's not mad at you. Cats are heavy sleepers, and it shows. If you can set up a chair, a bed, or some support on a window. They love to see what is going on outside and may stay for days just watching. Bring toys. Cats love to play. Don't worry about costly toys you see on social media. In my case, just an old sock and some fishing thread were enough to play for hours. An old laser pointer did wonders too. One day he even discovered the pleasures of a screw lying on the floor. Make time to play with your cat. In my case, it's more entertaining than social media. Choose a veterinarian early. Try to find one near your house. Write down its number, address, and working hours, and keep it on your fridge or another place with easy access. Follow the vet's advice. Don't forget to neuter your cat, and give all necessary vaccinations. Its health is the #1 priority, which means avoiding overweight and watching for changes in behavior or physical condition. Bonus points if the first time you notice something is wrong, you rush to the vet with almost tears in your eyes, begging them to make your cat well again, only to find out that it just jumped too high and didn't know how to land. And it will be fine, because that totally didn't happen to me. Take pictures, tons of pictures. Look at them when you miss your cat. Take videos and show them to people who aren't interested in your cat. Tell the world your cat is the best thing to ever happen to you, and you don't care that it sounds crazy. Laugh at cat memes and discover how much love there is between you and your cat. Sorry, it has been 10 months since I last saw him, and with luck, in 3 days I will see him again. I'm emotional and excited. Story 8. They typically do well in pairs. People do not often think they need companionship, but they do. They have distinct personalities and can be very moody. For example, if we leave to go out of town, we get vacation poops left right outside the clean litter box by one of our cats. I always make sure we have a sitter come over for daily interaction. All the cats I have ever had have gotten along well with dogs. We have 2 cats and 2 golden retrievers right now, and they get along great. Do not rule out owning them together in the future. They do not need to be bathed. They are self-cleaning. Spay or neuter your cat. This cuts their cancer risk in half and helps with behavior issues. Story 9. If you leave a glass of water unattended, it will be a broken puddle on the floor when you return. Story 10. Do not declaw your cat. Ever. It is horribly painful and equivalent to cutting off the first joint of all your fingers. If necessary, and only if absolutely necessary, trim their claws. Story 11. When they want attention, they want it now. But when you want attention, prepare to be ignored. Story 12. When a cat rolls on its back and presents its belly, it is saying, I trust you. It is not saying, rub my belly. The way you might with a dog. If you try to rub its belly, you are somewhat betraying that trust, and the claws may come out. Some cats will let you rub their belly, but the above is much more common. Story 13. Well, the very first thing you should know is that you are not getting a cat. The cat is going to get you. It is just one of the policies of the cat distribution system. Story 14. Cats are the best pets for people with control issues because nothing gives you nonstop lessons in something you cannot control like a cat. Story 15. Their character is completely a matter of luck. You might get one who really enjoys humans, or one who hates them, or one who only wants to be near them but not touched, or one that will crawl on your lap at every chance it gets. You do not know what kind of cat you will get. If you are willing to take that gamble, go ahead. They will die before you do, and it will break your heart when they do, whether that is 3 years in because of an accident or illness, or 20 years in because of old age. You will love that difficult cat, and it will hurt you more than you think. Story 16. They do not let you know when something is wrong with them, or I should say, they do in extremely subtle ways. Dogs usually make it obvious when something is wrong. With cats, if you are not paying attention, you will not know until it is bad. Story 17. They jump everywhere and love pushing fragile things to the floor. They enjoy pushing everything to the floor. Story 18. Get used to cleaning up cat vomit. Cats often vomit even when they are not ill, especially if they eat their food too quickly. Keep plenty of spare plastic bags handy, along with some carpet cleaner and floor wipes. We have 3 cats, so this is a multiple times per week task for us. Also, be prepared for your cat to love their food one day and then refuse it the next. Our 3 cats seem to make this decision daily, all at the same time. Story 19. Consider getting 2 cats. Hear me out. As kittens, 2 are far less work for the human because they can play with and entertain each other. They will naturally teach each other boundaries, like how not to bite or scratch too hard. As adults, caring for 2 is not a significant increase in work or cost regarding the litter box and food. Cats are naturally very social animals, despite popular culture suggesting otherwise. Some cats choose to be solitary, and some have simply adapted to solitude because they have never had a friend. 2 cats are truly better than 1. Story 20. This will not be popular, but please consider making your cat an indoor cat. Outdoor cats have a higher death rate than indoor cats. This is understandable as there is a much higher risk of traffic accidents, attacks by other animals, and getting lost or stuck. It is unfair to your cat and borders on neglect to let it roam unsupervised outside all day. Additionally, outdoor cats are very harmful to the local ecology. They hunt for fun, and each cat is likely responsible for the deaths of hundreds of small birds, rodents, insects, and lizards every year. Studies have shown that domestic cats have directly contributed to the extinction of many species. Outdoor cats are not a good idea for you, your cat, or the environment. Story 21. If you have houseplants, be prepared to part with any that are toxic to the cat. Some will take the risk, but the cat's welfare is a higher priority than your preference for interior decor. This also applies to anything breakable or edible. Story 22. Cats are big fans of routines. They know when breakfast and dinner are, when playtime is, and when you get home. If their routine is disrupted and these things happen sooner or later than they are used to, they may get upset. They are also not fans of change in their environment. A new person or pet moving in, furniture being rearranged, new food, new litter, and so on can all unsettle a cat, make them feel unsafe, and drive them to hide. Story 23. Be aware of your movements if you own a desk chair with wheels. Make sure your cat has its own safe and secluded area where it can be alone whenever it wants. Story 24. Hairy cats vomit fur balls which look like gooey feces. Cat feces and urine smell terribly bad. Some cats wake you up at very early hours of the night or morning. Some cats will hunt and bring you their prey. Thank you, Maria, for the quarter of a cockroach you gave me. It was lovely. Story 25. Cats have much stronger personalities than dogs and often cannot be trained out of those traits like dogs can. If you get a kitten, it is the luck of the draw whether you get a cat that is very cuddly and affectionate or one that is standoffish and does not like to be petted. Even 2 cats raised identically together can be very different in how receptive they are to people. If you have a specific idea of what you want from a cat, such as a lap cat who likes to go to bed with you, you should consider rescuing adult cats who already have their personalities developed. Story 26. Cats are not toys for children, especially young kittens and toddlers. Story 27. Do not fall for common misconceptions about cats. For example, some cats are lactose intolerant and cannot drink milk. One should read a book on cat care before getting a cat because it covers important topics such as what cat litter to buy, how much to use, how often to clean, trimming your cat's claws, finding the right cat food, and getting the appropriate vaccinations. There is a lot to learn. Story 28. If you anticipate needing to leave the cat alone, for example, for work, consider getting siblings. I learned this after having my first cat. Siblings keep each other company. Story 29. A dog has the mental age of a 5-year-old and loves you very much. A cat has the mental age of a 40-year-old and is already tired of your behavior. Story 30. Emergency room and intensive care unit veterinary technician here. I see some lovely suggestions, so I won't repeat what I've already seen in my brief skim of the comments. Depending on whether we're talking about an adult cat or a kitten, the answers can vary somewhat, but I'll keep to the essentials of avoidable things I've seen at my job that I would hate for someone to experience. Double-check any houseplants you have within the home. Remember, lilies are toxic to cats. It only takes a lick to warrant an emergency room visit and several days of hospitalization. Flea and tick medications are essential. Revolution Plus and NexGard combo are working the best right now. Frontline has been on the market for too long, and parasites have built a resistance to it. Just make sure you get the best value for your money. Stay away from Heart's products. If you want your cat to have a collar, make sure it is a quick-release snap collar. No buckles. Cats like to squeeze into tight places, and it can be easy for the collar to get caught on something and cause asphyxiation. Slowly introduce them to any dogs you might have. For the love of all that is holy, don't just bring the cat home and place them down in front of a dog who might have no concept of how to play nicely. String is the biggest cause of foreign bodies in cats. Strong toys can be fun, but don't leave your cat unsupervised with them. Finally, please do not let them outside unsupervised. There is nothing outside worth the dangers associated with it. Story 31. Cats are literally living weapons. Their nails will scratch you, and they have smaller yet sharper puncturing and penetrating teeth compared to dogs. They can be jerks at times, pouncing, biting, and scratching you out of nowhere. I am telling you this because if you are weak-hearted and not confident in keeping a cat, giving it the right exercise if it is an indoor cat, and neutering or spaying if you plan to have it as an outdoor cat, it is better to choose a dog than to declaw a cat or leave it out on the streets. Cats are wonderful even though they have tendencies to become difficult. Each cat is different, just like people with their own temperaments. It is like a gotcha machine. If you are chosen by the cat distribution system, disregard what I have said, tough it out, and love the new kitty or cat with all your might. Thank you. Story 32. You do not get a cat. The cat distribution system chooses you. Okay. But for real, cats are great. Yes, there are drawbacks like with any pet, but when they curl up in your lap and purr themselves to sleep, you feel seen and loved. When you wake up in the middle of the night because they are sleeping on your chest, you feel protected. When you clean their litter box, you feel nauseated. I miss my cats and cannot wait until a new one chooses me. Story 33. If you do not keep their litter box clean and in excellent condition, they will defecate on the floor right in front of it. Story 34. Prepare to feast your eyes whether you want to or not. Story 35. For a real answer, one important thing to remember is that cats that live exclusively indoors are healthier and live longer. Cats that roam are at risk of being killed by cars and dogs, injured by getting into fights with other cats, or contracting illnesses from other cats, such as feline immunodeficiency virus. Infection from another cat's claws in a fight can lead to your cat being maimed or even dying. Roaming cats also kill a large number of wildlife, and it is estimated that roaming pet cats are responsible for the deaths of 1 billion native species in Australia every year. Secondly, cats can be trained. If you want your cat to enjoy some outdoor time, train it from a young age to walk on a leash. Story 36. You will get so attached to it that you might even skip a vacation so you do not leave them alone. Story 37. Make sure you are in shape because they have a habit of running. Story 38. If you adopt a cat and there is already one in your home or one may visit your home from a family member or partner, introduce them slowly. Story 39. They've all got their own quirky personalities. It's not like, oh, this is a breed. They are categorically all the same behavior. Story 40. They hate laptops. They love breaking laptops. If you are worried about fleas, look for pepper-like things on them, which is flea feces. Story 41. One does not get a cat. One accepts one's role as staff. Story 42. They will act like you have never fed them in their entire lives every time you feed them. Story 43. They are not as easy as people think. They do need attention, and some, like mine, will follow you constantly. I have lost count of how many times mine has tripped me up. Story 44. Cats are trainable. You can teach them many of the same tricks that dogs can learn. Especially when they are young, you can train your cat to do certain things. Impressive tricks. Getting their nails trimmed. Being comfortable with water. Tolerating their paws being touched. Being held. Taking medication. Leash training. And much more. Training cats requires patience, and some cats are more trainable than others. Story 45. Not all cats bury their feces. Our ragdoll cat would go through the motions of digging through the litter but would always leave a stinking pile of feces in the open air. Story 46. Women and cats will do as they please, and men and dogs should relax and get used to the idea. Never try to outstubborn a cat. If you would know a man, observe how he treats a cat. How you behave toward cats here below determines your status in heaven. Anyone who considers protocol unimportant has never dealt with a cat. There are only 5 things really worth drawing. 4 of them are pretty girls and the 5th is cats. Cats have no sense of humor, they have terribly inflated egos, and they are very touchy. Robert A. Heinlein quotes about cats. Story 47. Cats are fun to have, and my house would feel empty without them. But hair everywhere. Wearing your new outfit at home? Not an option anymore. Cleaning the litter box. At least once a day. Not fun but necessary. Overall costs. They can get very expensive: special diet food, toys, cat litter, scratching posts, destroyed or scratched furniture, vaccinations, anti-lice treatments, etc. Veterinary costs. Broken leg? $1,000 or more. They can get pretty old, and the older they get, the more issues they can have: incontinence, kidney problems, vomiting, special diet food, which is very expensive. The occasional hairball anywhere. Allergies. Anyone you know allergic to cats? They probably will not visit as often anymore. Cat goes outside? Expect an occasional dead bird, mouse, or other rodent on your doorstep. Your neighbor's garden becomes their litter box. Vacations. You will need to arrange for someone to take care of your cat. Cats do not like new environments, so a house sitter is the best option. Living in a small apartment or house can be a problem because most cats want to be with you, and they are usually not sleeping while you are. You don't own a cat. The cat owns you. Story 48. Cats have a tendency to disappear. Fear not, they are probably sleeping under something that was once thought impossible to get under. Cats are liquid. Also, if a cat ever urinates outside of their designated litter box, go to the veterinarian immediately. Could be nothing, or it could be a matter of life and death, especially in males. Story 49. 1. Cats live a long time, around 10 to 15 years, so there is no getting rid of them quickly. 2. They can be difficult but also intelligent. Be prepared for their most annoying behavior to be their most frequent behavior. 3. Have antiseptics available. They are fluffy and nice but have sharp parts they use even while playing. 4. Be prepared to spend money. They seem to have access to your bank statements, and anything you buy specifically for the cat will often be ignored. 5. Each cat is an individual. You never know if you will get a difficult or an overly affectionate one. The nicest fluffy cat can be antisocial, and a scruffy-looking cat could be very loving, and vice versa. 6. You will eventually form a relationship with them based on your personalities. This relationship could range from unhealthy codependency to lifelong companionship. 7. Plan for their care when you leave. Some cats will be fine with a pile of dry food for 5 days, while others may protest by not eating for 3 days. In summary, 11 out of 10 would recommend having a cat. Story 50. Not all apartment buildings allow cats, so make sure you are in a place that does. Many cats are abandoned or given up because their owners move. If cats are accepted, you will usually have to pay extra. Story 51. They do not care what time you went to sleep or need to wake up. They will climb onto your bed and headbutt you for affection. Story 52. You should know within weeks, every single horizontal surface of your house will have been touched by Mr. Whisker's bare skin. Story 53. While a Bengal tiger is a member of the cat family, it should not be kept as a pet. Story 54. Once you get a cat, you will no longer be the owner of your apartment. Story 55. They like to walk directly underneath your feet as if they enjoy being crushed. Story 56. If you want to know the personality, consider adopting an older cat. They also will not have the extreme energy of a kitten. Most people avoid adopting older cats, but they need love too. Story 57. They do not answer to any name. You will be ignored when you call it. Story 58. You may be woken up at 5 or 6 a.m. for the rest of your life, 10 to 20 years. Signed, someone who has been woken up at 5 or 6 a.m. for the last 6 years. Story 59. Do not believe everything you read or are told by cat owners, rescuers, and others. It amazes me how much alfalfa sprouts, crystal energy, and essential oil nonsense is current among cat people, of which I am one. If someone tells you that veterinarians are wrong about something, close your ears and harden your heart until you have checked at least 3 other sources. Adopt, do not shop. Stay away from breeders. Consider the lifetime of pain inflicted on the Scottish fold just for its cute ears, the strict limits placed on the life of a sphinx to ensure it does not suffer excessively for being completely hairless, and how much you will have to spend to keep the poor cat in clothes. There are thousands of rescue organizations and groups that have tens, even hundreds of thousands, of cats in shelters and foster homes that need a decent home with a kind person who will provide their own litter box, cleaned at least daily. Preferably in a somewhat private location, 2 good meals and fresh water daily, a few toys for activity and stimulation. They need not be expensive. Regular access to cardboard boxes, combing or brushing, and a spot on the bed. The cat will take it anyway, so do not fight it. Keep your cat indoors. Cats that roam have an average life expectancy of 2 to 5 years due to cars, dogs, poisons, other cats, weather, wild animals, and disease. Indoor cats can live 15 to 20 years, depending on how dedicated their owner is to regular vaccinations and checkups, quality food, and mental, social, and physical stimulation. Read carefully. Check out reviews when choosing a veterinarian, both online and from friends. Take the kitten to your own veterinarian as soon as possible for an initial assessment. If you are not prepared to pay for regular veterinary visits, do not get any animal, cat, dog, gerbil, or yeti. Do what the veterinarian tells you and ask questions to be sure you understand. Become aware of reliable cat enthusiasts like the Kitten Lady and Jackson Galaxy. There are also books like Cats for Dummies and The Complete Guide to Adopting a Cat. After you have done all that and think you are ready, the cat distribution network will step up and put a 3-legged pregnant tortoiseshell cat on your front porch in the middle of a heavy storm. And that is it. That is your cat. We are always here to help. This is actually one of the best places I know for reliable advice and support, but still, check it. Hope this helps. Source: 30 years of rescue work on 3 continents and sharp reprimands from innumerable cats. Story 60. I have 2 cats that grew up together, adopted from different families at 8 weeks, and here is what I have learned. Cats are very much their own creatures. One of my cats is the cuddliest cat I have ever met and needs constant attention, but only from me. She attacks visitors if she does not know them. I call her my guard kitty, but I really wish she would stop. I have to put her in a different room when I have new people over and introduce her slowly. Blood has been spilled many times. The other cat does not like to be touched often, but is very calm around guests. She just treats them like they are not there and goes about her business. They are opposite ends of the personality spectrum. You will never want to let them go, you will miss them when you are not home with them, and they will prevent you from living an adventurous life unless you train them to go outside with you early. Mine never liked leashes and are afraid of going outside, so my adventure kitty dreams will not come true with these cats. But I love them so dearly it made me settle down. If I go on vacation, I think about them constantly. On that note, it might just be me, but it is very hard to find reliable people to check in on them when you are away. One of my cats will pee on the carpet if the litter box is not cleaned regularly. I thought the automatic litter box would change this, but she really did not like that one, and would pee on the carpet anyway until we got rid of it. Cat urine is not fun and smells terrible. However, generally if your cat is misbehaving, There is a reason. If my cat pees outside of the box, I know there is something else going on. I start looking around and always find something. As others have mentioned, some plants will kill cats. I got rid of most of my houseplants, but actually kept a couple of toxic ones and just kept an eye on them. My cats have never gotten sick at 7 years old, and they seem to somehow sense if it is a plant they should not chew on. I have even received lilies and have had no issues. I generally keep them far out of reach, but sometimes I find fallen petals on the floor and freak out, only to find the cats never even wanted to go near them. Other plants and flowers they will chew on, so I do not know if that is a cat supersense thing or what. Again, your cat or cats will become very important to you, so make sure you are ready for some emotional attachment because even when they annoy you, they are now your masters, and you must provide them the attention and love they require, whatever that entails. Story 61. Cats sometimes need their space. Some need it very rarely, some need it all the time. Some cats are really social and some are not. Be prepared for your cat to potentially try to wake you up every morning to feed them and become demanding about food. Cats are very aware of routine, so if they do not get fed at a consistent time, they might start getting antsy. Also, do not overfeed them. Some cats are fine with this, but others may keep trying to pressure you for more food even though it is not good for them to eat anymore. Do not underfeed or overfeed. Just give them as much as they need. It is best not to let your cat outside, but if you do, make sure to give them an anti-flea and anti-tick collar or medication. Cats like to be able to sit by a window. The litter box needs to be scooped frequently. Some cats can be very sensitive to the smell of the litter box or to the smell or texture of a certain brand of litter. If you do not scoop the box often enough, or if a cat does not like the smell or feel of the litter on their paws, some cats may become upset and start eliminating elsewhere. Do not declaw your cat, but keep their claws trimmed with a nail clipper or something similar. Do not feed them too many treats at a time. Because cat treats are small, it is tempting to give them a whole handful, but you really should not. Give them both dry food and wet food. Dry food helps keep their teeth strong, but too much dry food is not good for them. They really need both kinds. Just like with a dog, spaying or neutering and microchipping by a veterinarian is a good idea. Some cats are really snuggly. Some cats do not like too much physical touch. If your cat does not want to be touched sometimes, respect that. Some cats lay around most of the day. Some cats are very playful. Cats will shed everywhere, especially cats with long hair. You will need to vacuum frequently. Never hit your cat. Cats may sometimes bring you dead or even live animals. Cat may try to eat bugs. Try to stop them from doing this. Some types of bugs are safe, but many are not. Keep them away from bugs. Do not let your cat eat spiders. Many spiders are venomous. Do not leave small trinkets out in the open that they can put in their mouths because they will likely steal them to play with, which could be a choking hazard. Do not leave cups on the table unattended. Cats love to try to drink from water glasses or knock cups off the table. Some cats are friendly with other cats or dogs. Some are not. Ask the shelter about whether a cat would feel safe with other animals around. A slow blink from a cat means they feel calm, safe, and happy and can be interpreted as a sign of affection. Kneading their paws, mimicking the motion they used to nurse as kittens, and showing you their belly mean the same thing. Some cats like their belly rubbed, and some do not. Some might show their belly but not want you to touch it. Story 62. Keep them inside. Ensure your home is well suited for their enrichment. Story 63. If you get a kitten, make sure you get two. I don't care how involved you are with them, you just can't provide the energy that another kitten can. Take lots of pictures. They only stay small and adorable for a very short time. Then they are still adorable, just not in the same way. Make sure you can afford them. Know how much appropriate good food costs. Do your research. Kittens need a different diet until they reach 12 months old. Then you will switch again once they reach their senior years at 8. Also, know how much your veterinarian charges for things like vaccinations, microchipping, get this, spaying and neutering, absolutely required, flea and worm medications. Incidentals include insurance. I really suggest this. We have spent over $7,000 on emergency care for our current cat and $10,000 for a previous cat that had cancer. Cat furniture? Again, strongly suggested, toys, catnip, and treats. Do not go into this thinking that cats are standoffish creatures that take care of themselves. Some cats want to be on you, want your attention 100% of the time, and can be the biggest smooches ever. Or you could end up with a mischievous pirate cat that considers you their favorite chew toy but loves your significant other to death. Ask the shelter or rescue about the personality of the cat. Also, if you are planning on a purebred, make sure you research the breed. If you are mainly a low-energy person, there are several breeds you do not want. Bengal and Abyssinian are two off the top of my head. They are smart, high-energy cats, and if they do not get the kind of physical activity and mental stimulation they need, they can be very destructive and can develop issues such as marking and overgrooming. Do your research. Be ready to have your whole life taken over, and do not get a cat if you are not willing for that to happen. Story 64. Indoor cats live longer than cats that go both indoors and outdoors. Get them spayed or neutered, or they will urinate on everything. Get them microchipped. Story 65. Cats are generally lactose intolerant, so giving them milk is not good for them. However, there is specialized cat milk that is safe for them as an occasional treat, though some like it more than others. Also, while cats do not emote like dogs do, they have a relatively sophisticated communication system. For example, if a cat blinks slowly at you, it is a sign that they like and trust you. In general, paying attention to how their ears and tail are positioned can tell you a lot. Story 66. Get two cats. Really, two cats are better than one. I'm not some cat obsessive implying that you should get 3, 4, or 5. They will entertain each other, destroy fewer of your things, and potentially live longer. Happy cats, happy cat owners. Story 67. Do not let your cat roam freely outdoors. They destroy wildlife. Story 68. If you let it outside, it will kill the local wildlife, defecate on other people's properties, and leave dead animals there, which will upset them. Story 69. Provide the appropriate food, feeding frequency, and amount for your cat's diet. Prepare a hairball remedy for your cat. Have cotton swabs and saline solution ready to clean your cat's eyes. Keep your home dry and clean. You can download Mebbit, an application that provides scientific and professional answers for feeding any pet, including yourself. Story 70. Keep them away from toxic plants and flowers, such as lilies, snake plant, and chrysanthemum. The list goes on. Story 71. They are cute but mischievous. If they are older, be prepared to clean up random spots of vomit. Also, not all treats will agree with their stomachs. Be prepared to clean up diarrhea. Story 72. Get the cheap toys. My cat's favorite toy is the box any toy comes in. Also, a metal piece of wire with a bit of cardboard at the end. Story 73. Browse the cat subreddits. You will learn all you need to know. Cats are aliens and lovable characters. Story 74. Cats like running water. You can find water fountains that constantly run water, which you clean and fill. Story 75. Cats are agents of chaos. Whatever preparation you may make, cats have an innate ability to turn out completely differently from what you planned, often in cute and funny ways, sometimes in expensive and dangerous ways, sometimes in ways that I do not know about at the time of writing this comment. Cats are great. Story 76. Watch Jackson Galaxy's My Cat from Hell television show for a good understanding of what to do. Story 77. Domestic house cats can live up to 20 years. That is the commitment you have to be prepared for. Story 78. They only throw up on the carpet, not on any hard and easily cleanable surface. Story 79. Mistake number 1. You do not get a cat. A cat gets you. Story 80. It will not be your pet. You will be its pet, and you will love it. Story 81. If you are trying to conceive or pregnant, be ready to have someone else do the poop scooping. Even the doctor will tell you a dirty litter box is bad for pregnant women and babies because of the odor. Story 82. You must understand that the cat's rear end will come into contact with every flat surface in your home. You can train it not to sit on the dining table or kitchen counters. However, in reality, you have only trained it not to do so when you are around. Story 83. The cat should choose you, not the other way around. If you choose your cat but they do not choose you, then they will probably be unpleasant. Story 84. They are bad if you own one, but 10 times better if they belong to someone else. Story 85. Silly human, one does not simply get a cat. The cat gets you. Story 86. Especially as kittens, cats are very sensitive to noise and any type of force. You can easily end up with a nervous, distrustful cat if you yell, spank, or tap them on the head with a rolled-up paper too often. Treat them with pure love and gentleness, and you will receive the same in return. Do not try to instill fear in them. Instead, try to make whatever is tempting them unattractive. They are very smart, and it only takes 1 or 2 negative experiences for them to learn to avoid something. Story 87. Might seem obvious to many, but it's an important one in my opinion. A cat is not a dog. A cat is also not a human. Not all cats will wag their tail at you and run to you as soon as you get home. That does not mean they are not affectionate towards you. Learn their body language. I have seen many cat owners or people who love cats overstep their pet's boundaries. While the cat will let you know if it doesn't like something, it's best to be attentive during the encounter. Cat is an animal. It generally does not care if that was expensive soil you used for your vegetable garden. The nicer the soil, the more likely I feel the cat is to take a crap in it. Don't get mad at your cats for this or any other behavior that is natural for animals. This mindset goes a long way. For example, when we got our cats, they were worm-riddled little creatures we adopted from the shelter after they were rescued from the street. They had bad diarrhea for a while due to infections and were defecating everywhere. One even had an accident on our carpet. While it was annoying, it was not the cat's fault. We never got mad at them and just did our best to make them feel better. Story 88. If they do not respond when you call them, non-feeding time, and roll over to let you rub their belly, you are doing it wrong. Story 89. Get a good cat tree or scratcher. You do not need expensive toys. An empty box and catnip usually do the trick. If they roll on their back for belly rubs, do not fall for it. Let them come to you for cuddles. Anything else will not work. Cats are fun. Story 90. Do not let them be an outdoor cat. They may love it and want it badly, but they are harmful to local wildlife, and it hurts deeply when they do not come home. My Charlie went missing 2 days ago, and as much as I want to believe he will come home, I have accepted that he will not. He would never willingly skip coming home for a meal. Story 91. You will have a litter box in your house for possibly 18 years. Once this cat we have now is gone, I am never getting a cat again. I have had a litter box in my house since 2005, and I am sick of it. Story 92. The more time you spend with them, the closer they will be to you. Cats only ignore you when they feel ignored. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.